Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. Residents are still proud to call Edina home. That's the verdict from the latest quality of life survey of Edina residents by an independent research company. In the survey conducted this spring by Decision Resources, 99% of respondents rated the quality of life in Edina as excellent or good.
The first overarching theme of this is that the city is still regarded by its residents as a special place. Your ratings are still among the highest that we have across the metropolitan area.
Other highlights of the survey include schools and natural beauty topped the list of reasons why people like living in Edina. 92% of residents polled believe things in Edina are generally headed on the right track. 84% of residents asked believe that if they wanted to, they could have a say about the way things are run in the community. More than 30% couldn't identify a serious issue facing Edina today. Issues identified by about 1 in 10 people were taxes, housing teardowns, and traffic congestion. Decision Resources completed the random survey of about 400 Edina residents in May and June. The results are accurate to plus or minus 5% and will aid city decision makers going forward.
To me, it's an affirmation of the high quality of life that people experience here, and of course we're the stewards of the quality of life, and everything we do hopefully helps to increase the impact of that. It tells us that people feel empowered, that they feel like they have a say in the direction of the city, which to me is of personal importance, as I've been really concerned with citizen engagement, getting people involved in the political process.
The next quality of life survey will be completed in 2015. The area's largest food shelf is moving to a bigger location. With a growing number of people needing help in Edina and other parts of the Southwest metro area, Volunteers Enlisted to Assist People, or VEAP, is expanding and teaming up with Hennepin County. Edina 16's Dietrich Nissen stopped by the nonprofit's facilities to see how the new digs will improve service.
The need is at all-time highs here in Bloomington and Ridgefield, Edina, South Minneapolis. We've never seen the demand that we've seen in our 40-plus year history.
VEAP's food manager, Nathan Russ, knows just how hard it can be to move food around the nonprofit's current distribution facility.
It's a big logistical challenge for us to sort and prepare all the food on the first level, receive the donations on the first level, and then move it all upstairs on an elevator into a very tiny room where the actual families come and shop.
That's one reason he can't wait to move from the current 14,000 square foot facility to this brand new 50,000 square foot building.
Well, we've certainly reached capacity at our current facility, so we're looking to move rather quickly here in the fall, which is exciting.
What bothers me is when working doesn't work.
VEAP's executive director, Susan Russell Freeman, says the group provided more than 18,000 working-class families with food, financial aid, senior services, and school supplies last year.
What has changed is the communities around us. We've become more diverse. They've grown in some ways. They've gotten older in some ways, and then more new Americans and others. I would say if you had to pick one major thing that took place 25 to 30 years ago, the Mall of America.
Freeman says the world-renowned mall created a booming hospitality industry.
What that brings, it's a thriving industry, it's very good, but it also brings an employment level that tends to be low pay, minimum wage, oftentimes no benefits.
And with that working-class population growing larger each day, VEAP decided to expand. The group purchased this building for $1.3 million and partnered with Hennepin County to turn this building into what they hope will be a one-stop social service shop.
We are carving out a space in that building that will be able to bring in employment groups, we'll be able to bring in counseling groups, who will actually, so when people come to see either VEAP or the county, certain times of the week or even day, they'll have access to these other programs.
It's a team effort, community effort, and we couldn't do it without the thousands of people working together to make this happen.
In Bloomington, Dietrich Nissen, Edina 16.
VEAP plans on opening the new facility's doors the first week of October. If you'd like to find out more information or volunteer, visit veapvolunteers.org. The vision for the redevelopment at 6500 France Avenue has changed. Earlier this year, the City Council approved a proposal to redevelop the property with a 5-story medical office and retail building with an attached 4- or 5-level parking ramp. Mount Development and Aurora Investments have since requested consideration of a change in use to 111 units of senior assisted and independent living, 66 units of traditional care, skilled nursing, and memory care beds, and 18 care suites. The care suites would include short-term stays by patients who have had surgery at Fairview Hospital or Twin Cities Orthopedic.
The Southdale area certainly has numerous choices for senior housing services. This particular site, though, happens to be connected to the hospital. So that's what makes it unique. We really haven't had any new construction for senior housing since York Gardens almost 2 years ago. And that particular property, being 76 units, is completely full. So Edina has senior residents that want to stay in the community, want the services that Ebenezer and other quality senior housing operators provide. So we feel very comfortable in the size of the building and then in the offerings that we'll be providing on this particular site.
The building would be similar in style to the previously approved plan and will still be 5 stories in height. A pedestrian skyway would connect the building to the hospital parking ramp to the north. The previously approved parking ramp would be replaced with housing. Parking would be provided underground. Earlier this month, the City Council approved changes to the comprehensive plan to allow for residential units on the property and granted preliminary rezoning and the preliminary development plan for the project. The developers are expected to seek final approvals later this year. Braemar Arena staff spent much of the month trying to balance its 40-plus-year relationship with the Braemar City of Lakes Figure Skating Club with the current demand for ice time at the facility. In August 2012, the City Council directed staff to prepare a recommendation for a new priority use policy to govern the distribution of ice time at Braemar Arena. Previously, such a policy did not exist, and it was the only city facility utilized by youth athletic associations that operated without an agreement. Ice time at the arena has historically been distributed based on the city's relationship with the Figure Skating Club and the Edina Hockey Association, and the need for ice time for its own recreational programming. As staff began the process of preparing the policy, they were challenged with creating a principled priority use policy that would provide bona fide priority access to the recognized association that meets the residency requirement, the Hockey Association, while also recognizing the long relationship between the City of Edina and the Figure Skating Club.
This was a very challenging task. We have 2 incredibly successful programs, both wanting more ice. There was no way we were going to be able to meet the goals of both organizations. This is it's a good starting point for us to work together to see if we can't accomplish their goals in the best way possible.
After much deliberation, the City Council approved a priority use policy that will result in the figure skaters giving up 159 hours of prime ice time for the Hockey Association for 2 years. During that time, staff is directed to monitor the impact of the change on the Figure Skating Club and report back to the Council with its findings in May 2015. Thanks for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.